Hey fashion bosses, how are you doing? All right, so in today's class, we're going to be learning how to make this ruffle tulle mermaid dress, the same very one you saw on the thumbnail, but we're actually making for a child. How be it, the technique remain the same. The only difference is the border size, okay? And we are going to be concentrating only on the ruffle parts, not the upper bodies, just the ruffle parts, this cloud parts, okay? So if this is what you like to learn, kindly watch till the end. My name remains Faith Abraham, Creative Director, Fashion Boss Innovations Academy. If this is your first time on this channel, we say thank you very much. Kindly do well to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much. All right, so this is my two nets. Okay, I have it here. This is actually 30 yards. Okay, I can mention earlier, I'm actually making this for a 10-year-old girl. Okay, and I'm having a 30 yard two net here. Okay, because it really requires a lot of years. Like if you are making for an adult, you're talking about 70, 80 to 100 yards. Okay, if you really want it to be very full, okay, the fuller the more beautiful it looks. All right, so I have my skirt. I already cut out my flare. Already cut out my flare. This is the skirt. All right, this is the skirt. So I got the circumference of the skirt, the bottom part of the skirt, okay, the nail area. I got the circumference. All right, and then I divided it by 3.14. So we are cutting a 180-degree peplon or a 180-degree flare, okay, which I already have mine cut out. I don't think this is new for you, so I already have mine cut out, a 180-degree flare. Okay, so you are folding it diagonally and cutting, or triangularly. I divided the circumference of the bottom part of my skirt, you know, by 3.14. I got the radius, and then I use it to cut out my flare. Okay, the emphasis for this class is actually to show us how, to achieve the cloud effects, on your attire. Okay, the cloud effects on your attire, the two cloud effects on your attire. It's actually briders, okay, and mainly used for brides, okay, um red carpet and what have you. Okay, so this is my two already. Them into I folded the two, okay, into several folds. All right, the entire 30 yards, I folded it into several folds, okay, to give me what I have here. Okay, so I'm actually going to be cutting this in a box. Okay, I'm actually going to be cutting it in a box shape, or in a square shape, or in a cube shape, whichever one you find convenient for you to call it. Okay, all right, so I'm going to roll my starting line here. Okay, please, whatsoever we are going to cut out of this part of the toe, I'm not going to throw it away, just keep it. It may come handy at a point. Okay, it may just come handy. My chalk is small, but I'll manage. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting the cube or the square using 7 by 7 inches. Okay, so it depends on how big you want your cloud to be. What I mean by cloud, we're actually using this square or box or cube shape we're cutting out to build that cloud. So it depends on the length you want at a time, because it's going to form a layer on each other. Okay, so you actually ascertain how you want it to be. You can use 10 by 10, you can use 5 by 5, you can use 7 by 7. I'm going to be using a 7 by 7. I don't want it to be too big, I don't want it to be too small, and then I'm also using it for a child. Okay, remember I mentioned that. All right, so I folded the two in such a way that I'll be able to get my 7 by 7 blocks or cube, at a time. Okay, so I'm going to be measuring the entire, how I folded it, the entire 30 inches. What I have here, the width like this is actually 15 inches. So in order for me not to waste any of the fabric, because every inch matters right now until the job is done, all right, so I'm going to be doing a 7.5 inch by 7.5 inch. What that means is I'm going to measure 7.5 here, okay, and then measure a 7.5 here. That is what it means. Hope you understand. It actually took me a while to put this video together. It's a lot of work. Please, if you are watching and this is what you really want to learn, please give a thumbs up, give a like, do a share on this video. It's a whole lot putting things like this together, please. Sometimes when you consider the style you want to create a video on, you just get tired, man. You don't want to know. Because if you think about the work that is coming alongside with it, you are just discouraged. But for the love we have for you guys, we just have to do it. So I have my 7 by 7 or my 7.5 by 7.5 here. So I'm going to cut it out and then use it to replicate others. Hope you understand. You have to be really patient when you are doing a thing like this, because I will not want the fold to unravel. So I have this right now. I'm going to put my scissors in between this. So this is what we have, and we are going to go on and on like this to cut everything that you're seeing here. So it's either I place this here and then I get my cubes or square, or I take another markings, but I'll just go with this. I think it's easier. So I'm going to split this open. So it requires a lot of patience. It's not something you do in a hurry. So we are building it gradually. Okay. So I'll just go ahead to cut the rest, and then I'll come back to us to show us what next to do. We're actually going to be picking it one by one like this. Okay, not one by one. You can actually do 2 or 3 at a time. Okay, and then you pinch it in the middle. It's either you attach it to your flea, or I'll show you the other option. But let me finish cutting this just the way I've done this, and then I'll come back to us. Okay, so guys, we are done cutting our 2 into blocks. Okay, we have quite a lot of them, here, quite a lot of them. Okay, but we're just going to be taking them in piecemeal as we keep going. So right about now, okay, like I mentioned to you earlier, these blocks you can actually pick them, okay, in 2s or in 3s, okay, depending on how much your fabric is and the wideness of the flay you are working with. You know, you have to put all of those into consideration. The wider the flay, the more fabrics or the more sew you will be consuming. Okay, if you cut these blocks tinier, you will consume more fabric. You cut it bigger, you will consume more fabric. So you just have to look for a way to play safe. All right, so you can just pick up 2 like this, pinch the middle, okay, like this. This is what you should have when you pinch the middle. Okay, and then you attach it. You have to be arranging it on your flay. Okay, but that may really look a little tedious, so we devised a means, and this is the means, and this is the option I told you I was going to show you. So I pick my toe, my block toe. Okay, I pinch the middle. So we are trying to create a string, a long string with this right now. Okay, and then when we are done creating a long string with this, we just attach it to our flay. Hope you understand. So we just pick our toe, and then we sew like that. You pick it in 2s or in 3s. Okay, depending on the resolution you've made, you know, as concerning the amount of tulle you have. Okay, so you pick it in twos or in threes, pinch the middle, okay, and then you continue attaching it that way to form a string. You pick, keep sewing. All right, pinch the middle, so this is just it basically. Okay, I keep pinching the middle and keep adding it to form the string. So this way, like this, we are just going to sew it round, you know, flay. So that's just how to go about this very style of cloud. Hey guys, so this is what I've been able to achieve with my 30 yards. It doesn't even look like as though it's gonna be enough. I may still have to get more fabrics or more of this tulle. So this is what we have. I made everything on a string this way. So when you are done stringing yours like this, okay, it's really looking beautiful and elegant. The next thing for us to do right now is to reach out for your circle flay. Okay, so this is mine. I'd already chalked, you know, the spacing I want. Okay, so you also determine how much of a spacing you want for yours. Howbeit, you have to space it in such a way that the preceding one, okay, is properly covered. What am I trying to say? So let's say, for instance, now this is the first one. I haven't sewn. So if you sewed the first one like this, okay, this is how we are going to be sewing it. I'll sew it on my line. Okay, I'll sew it on my line like this. These lines are very important for me. They are going to guide me on the spacing. Okay, but if you can just eyeball your spacing without having to, you know, mark it out, it's fine. It means you're a pro. Okay, so I'll sew it on this line like this, arrange and sew, you know, And then when I'm done with the first line, I will now come back to the next line. Okay. So I'll now come to the next line. Okay. And so on the next line. So if you can notice, you will see that this next one right now is covering the one under properly. Nobody is seeing through any holes. Okay, that is what you should take into consideration when doing your spacing. All right, and then you continue like that. Okay, so I'm going to take it to my sewing machines now and sew on my lines. Okay, and then I'll get back to you, right? Okay guys, so this is me trying to sew the string, the ruffled string or the cloud string to my flay. Okay, like I explained earlier. Okay, so you just sew the long string to your flay on the line that you've marked out. Okay, as you sew, you arrange along the line. Okay, you take your time to arrange it and then sew it on the line that you've marked out. Basically, the line actually makes it easy. Okay, so I advise you to mark out your line, your spacing, so you have a direction and something to work with, like a guide. Okay, you see this method is very easy. Making it a long string is easier than if you have to be attaching it one by one. Okay, so I'm done with the first line. I'm coming to the second line. Okay, to sew the string on the second line. So basically, this is what we are going to do till we exhaust the entire fabric. So as you can see, the second layer is laying properly on the first layer, covering it properly. Okay, it's resting properly. It's actually covering the line of the first layer properly, in that you don't know what actually happened there. Okay, and actually also going to give your work a neat finishing. Okay, nobody knows what's happened there except you, or the person comes and start lifting to know, to decipher what you did. Okay, it's resting properly on the other layer. So I'm just going to sew on the second line and keep sewing on the lines till I exhaust my ruffle. From the look of things, this 30 yards isn't gonna be enough. Okay, so here I'm done, sewing the ruffle, the clad to my flay. I actually ended up using 45 yards. Huh. You can't beat that. I also actually, you know, got to know that the child was not actually 10 years, but she was a 6 years old child. She's on the big side, okay? So I ended up using 45 yards to give me this level of fullness, okay? This is the back view with the extension at the back. Okay, it's really, really looking beautiful. The same method you also need to apply when you're making for an adult. It means if you want to make for an adult, you're looking at using something of about 100 yards. Okay, and depending on how full your flay is. Thank God I used a 180-degree flame. So at this point, I'm just going to attach, this cloud to the down parts of the skirts, and we are done with this project. Okay. So if you know you found value in this video, kindly like, share, give a thumbs up, okay, before you go. And we'll see you in our next video. I love this. It's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay. So follow us on all our social media handle. You can actually make this and submit and post what you made, on our Facebook group.